Minecraft. Haunted. I wish nether fortresses were more haunted with wither skeletons. It is time for more exploration and tactics, and I am trying to farm some wither skeletons, trying to set up the fortress in a way that'll be easier to make them spawn. It's a tough job, let me tell you. And in any case, while I'm trying to build up the fortress in the manner that I imagine it could be, at the same time, I'm going to go into some deeper topics, just kind of talking and babbling, and so this is going to be a bit of a talky episode. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello, and welcome back to more Exploration and Tactics with Brian. Today we're going to go to the Nether, and so I was getting geared up for that, but before I do, some people had suggested that maybe I needed a higher level enchantment sharpness that could like overtake the looting, but that's not how it works. If I have looting Bane of Arthropods and I try to add a sharpness 4 book, I still get looting Bane of Arthropods. I'm pretty sure I need a sharpness 4 sword in the left hand side in order to be able to combine these the way that I want in order to get a sword that has both looting and sharpness. And so I just wanted to show that off on camera. And in any case, I'm going to get prepared for the Nether, and then we'll head in there, and I'll tell you what we're up to today. Where are you at? There you are. Alright. Oh, one just spawned. This is a waste of my arrows, which I'm getting low on again. Arrows are easy to farm, except for the gravel. Oh my gosh, I spend so much time digging gravel. I think I'm out of... Hello, baby pigman. You are tiny. Do not attack me, and I won't attack you. There's another ghast over there. I was trying to tell you what we're up to today, and I get distracted by things in the Nether. It's because they want to kill me. Well, not all of them want to kill me. You keep not wanting to kill me, okay, pigman? That is a nice little thing we have going together. We're going to work on the Nether Fortress. I was thinking about Nether Fortresses and what I want to do, and I decided I'm going to use this Nether Fortress, even though it's not ideal. But I'm going to try to improve it, basically by tearing down some walls and kind of making it kind of a bigger open area. And so I think that'll work. I'm just going to do a quick little run around here. I know it's probably hard to see. Is that a ghast, like right here? Oh no, it's gravel I was seeing through there. That's kind of whitish. Wanted to do a quick look around just to make sure there were no wither skeletons already around that we needed to fight. And then I'll start doing some digging. But yeah, then I have some topics I want to talk about. I think over here this is going to be like open to the Nether. Let me put a torch out here so we can see a little bit. Yeah, there's like this opening here. That's still not great. I need to think about this a little bit more. I was thinking that these various corridors were almost right next to each other. And I guess they are almost right next to each other, but we've got these little spaces in between that really don't work in my favor. Let me take a moment off camera to figure out exactly how I want to do this. I'll be right back. Alright, this is a good section to go ahead and start taking some walls out of, because we have two... Whoa! Oh, that ghast is outside, but he's like flying right in the roof. That's a little creepy. We have two corridors right here together, and so wither skeletons will be able to spawn in all of this space if I kind of open this up. So I'm going to start working on this while we start talking about today's topic. I guess to introduce things, I'm going to put a little bit more light out here while I'm working, but eventually we'll take all these torches out. Kurt, our good friend Kurt J. Mack, in a recent Firelands or Bust episode, was talking about YouTube demographics, basically taking a look at kind of different breakdown of the viewers on his channel. Let's see, I want to leave that there, but I guess I don't need these. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, they should still be able to spawn in that space as well. And then how far does this go? If I open this up, do we just get into... I think we just get into a wall over here that breaks out into the Nether proper. Yeah, we do. Although it's pretty thin. Is it just one wide here? What's going on right here? This is a really odd-shaped... Well, I don't know if it's actually an odd-shaped fortress. I see. We're next to the Nether wart room, which is kind of thick here. Alright, I think I'm going to do something right here then. Yeah, I know what I'm going to do here. Okay. So in any case, Kurt was talking about his YouTube demographics in terms of... Let's see, I want to put a lower half slabs here is what I want to do. So basically, there are certain spots in the fortress where different things can spawn. I want to do the same thing up here as well. Hold on just one second. So I'm going to want to have a lower half slab kind of ceiling. I keep calling them half slabs. I've gotten so accustomed to that. They're just slabs. Slabs are already like a block that's only half as tall as everything else. Should really get in the habit of just calling them slabs, since that's the correct name. All right. And Kurt was talking about the demographics and kind of age breakdown of his viewers. And yeah, perhaps unsurprisingly, there's it slants to the lower age range group. So basically, YouTube puts things in different categories, and the first one is 13 to 17-year-olds. And yeah, those were kind of like the biggest category in his age breakdown. And then he was talking about how things kind of tailed off after that. I was looking at my own analytics in terms of demographic breakdown of my viewers, and I guess I wasn't too surprised about it. But mine are a bit older. On average, it's still the case that the biggest group is 13 to 17-year-olds in terms of people who watch my channel. But it is also the case that if you take a look at the older groups, for example, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, and 45 to 55 are kind of like the next three older groups. I can go over here. I need a torch real quick to be able to exactly see what's going on here. Great, and so I can put up another wall right there. Perfect. And then I can break into this room. Oh no, this is going to be... All right, I'm going to need a whole full wall over here. The various mechanics in terms of where wither skeletons can spawn in the fortress, I should go back and look at them because I haven't looked at them in a while. I'm just assuming that they haven't changed. But I think I know enough about it that I can know which walls I can tear down that will create actual useful spawning space for the wither skeletons. So that's what I'm attempting to do over here. And then the half slabs are basically places where I don't think they would spawn, and I don't want anything else spawning on those blocks. So that's what I'm up to. I was looking at my own demographics, and all these older ranges, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, 45 to 55, I also have about 18 to 20% of my viewers in each of those ranges as well. And so basically slightly favored to younger viewers, but then people in their 20s, people in their 30s, people in their 40s, even in their 50s are all reasonably well represented among my viewership. And that was interesting. I hadn't really taken much of a look at my demographics before, and it was kind of what I would have guessed, is that I cater to a slightly older demographic just because I think I'm a little less, I don't know, silly. I could still be silly sometimes, perhaps a lot of the time. I don't know. Like, I had a real-life video where I saw baby ducks outside my apartment, and it was like, duckies, 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 and it made me the happiest thing ever. And I know some friends in real life thought I was silly in terms of my reaction to the ducks. Let's put out a little bit more torchlight here while I think about a little bit more of this. All right, I'm going to take down these stairs because I don't plan to go up here. But at the same time, yeah, there's a lot of content that I feel like I focus on the game and mechanics and science and all these types of things that you can definitely enjoy if you're a younger person, but I don't know, maybe it kind of is more interesting to more older folks. There's still nether wart down there. All right, let's go ahead and dig this up. I'm pretty sure mobs can spawn on soul sand, but I'm not 100% sure. And so just given the option, we'll go ahead and replace it with some nether brick over here as well, just to ensure that we can have mobs spawning in here if that's what I'm trying to get. And I guess the height of the floor doesn't matter a whole lot to me over here. So I was thinking, okay, if I have some proportion of older viewers or older viewers, does that change anything about how I think about the channel? And I think for the most part, no. But as a result of both that and the fact that I have a lot of nether fort manipulation that I want to do, and I was trying to find ways to kind of try to make things interesting and be able to do some things on camera. I don't usually do a whole lot of building, and so I don't have a lot of practice doing building and talking on camera, but I was like, okay, here's an opportunity for me to go outside of my comfort zone, come up with topics that I can talk about on camera while I'm doing some kind of building and renovating. And since I have an older, a more mature audience, if you will, I could change some of the topics that I wanted to talk about to be like some topics that maybe older more mature people would appreciate more. And so one topic that I'm interested in is privacy. And so what is it that I want to talk about with regards to privacy? So basically, for those of you who've had your head hiding under rocks or something lately. All right, am I underground over here? No, I'm still like outside in the Nether. So it's still kind of dangerous to open up these walls. I do want to avoid ghasts, ideally. And I apologize for how dark this is. I wonder if I'm going to try to brighten it at all in post-production. But I do also want to try to find some spots where I can carve out some walls. And I'm not really finding those spots here. I need to find more corridors that are kind of more tightly packed together. Because as you can see, I'm walking all around a nice dark nether fortress over here where we could be getting skeletons, wither skeletons, blazes, magma cubes, and, well, I finally hear a blaze. And so let's be ready to drink a fire resist potion here. I have no idea. I guess a ghast just saw me right there. Yes. Let's go ahead, close off a bit more of the ceilings. The ghast will be less likely to see me there. And where are the blazes? There's a blaze. Okay. Let's just go ahead and drink a fire resist potion. That'll get us going for 8 minutes. Alright. And... okay, it's pretty closed up over here and over here. Are there any walls over here I can take out that opens back up into the Nether? What's happening over here? Here we go. What's happening here? It's another one-wide thing that then is going to break back into the fortress? Yes. So here's another place that I can do this. Like this. Okay, great. Doesn't matter if you don't understand exactly what I'm doing in terms of the building. Just trying to make things more efficient for guys to spawn, and hopefully I'm doing it correctly. And then this is open to the ceiling, right? Yes. So I want to, once again, do something like that up here. So, privacy. Let's talk about privacy. So there's all these things with information that governments, whether it be the US government or the government in the UK, have been able to get their hands on, both with respect to like internet and technology, as well as other means. Even before a lot of that stuff has been coming into the news. Oops, having trouble placing the slabs where I want to. There had been other discussions of all kinds of topics related to privacy, even in private enterprise, things like Facebook and how they have updated their privacy policies in the past are things that have frustrated some folks. I included. I used to be on Facebook a while back, and I ended up deleting my account a few years ago, just because I was kind of tired about how Facebook kept going and kind of changing things on users, and I just didn't get much value out of Facebook. I didn't really like Facebook. Alright, so where does this come to? This is another one of these nether fort rooms that I see circles around over here. I'm going to put a torch down again just so I can see what I'm doing, and hopefully you guys can see somewhat as well. Alright. So, there's been all these things going on with privacy, and yeah, privacy is a tough topic because it's one of these constructs that I don't have a good sense of to what extent it is artificial and new versus something that's always been a part of like human cultures and different things. I'm no scientist when it comes to, you know, looking back on like the past of humanity. And so I don't know if, you know, back in the day when, you know, humans were living in small villages and everybody knew everybody, if there was any kind of sense of privacy back then or not. Other people could say more about it. But these days, privacy is important to a lot of folks. And I understand that. But at the same time, it seems like both governments and technologies have been making it such that privacy is kind of harder to keep around these days. And so the question that I want to pose, to discuss in the episode today, while I'm trying to do some semblance of useful building over here, that will hopefully help us out in the long run for farming withers, is what if things weren't this way, but in perhaps the opposite way that some people tend to think about? Some people think about, you know, what can we do to kind of retain our privacy? I want to kind of flip it on its head and say, what if what if there were no privacy? What if all privacy went away, either via technology or government or whatever, and everybody just knew everything about everybody? How would that change how people behave? How would that change how we interact? How would it change, like, what would society as a whole have to do to kind of like adapt to such a lifestyle? Because that's something that I'm kind of interested in, and I'm interested to hear kind of other people's opinions in. Some people think it's fatalistic to think that technology is kind of an all-powerful and encompassing force that's just going to kind of overtake everything. And so no matter what you do, no matter what your kind of desires are in terms of how privacy or technology should work, eventually it's the case that technology is just going to overtake everything. You know, we've got cameras everywhere these days. They're on, you know, in cities, they're on street corners, they're inside businesses in terms of security cameras and different things. People have cameras inside their houses. You've got Xbox One that you could have a camera in your living room that might be hooked up to the internet all the time, and in our pockets and our phones. Similarly with phones, we have kind of audio listening devices kind of like everywhere in the world. And so one can imagine, without going too far into like sci-fi, La La Land or anything, one can imagine a future where basically everything was always on camera, everything was always recorded somewhere, whether it be audio and video. And so what I want to do is just kind of like hypothetically imagine such a future where if you wanted to see what I look like in my bathroom brushing my teeth in the morning when I get up, like you'd be able to go and find internet surveillance video of my bathroom on the internet somewhere. And so for some people, I'm sure that will just sound like a horrible and awful future to imagine. But indulge me, if you will, and kind of imagine what it would be like if basically every information you ever wanted to get about a person was just kind of like an open book and available to everybody. And then how does that change how we behave? How does that change how society as a whole kind of like behaves? How would they adapt to such a world? How would we all adapt? And I was thinking about this a bit. It's kind of related to the subject of fame, because people who are famous already undergo a whole lot of scrutiny in their lives, in that people follow them around with cameras all the time. And yeah, I guess famous people, it could be either people who are famous as a result of, you know, being an actor or movie star or something like that. Oh, wow. I was not aware that the place where this is that room that has like the little bit of lava in the center, and apparently there's like a giant hole underneath it that I was not aware of before. So I'm glad I plugged up that hole, because I do not want to fall in it. Yeah, so like actors and politicians and like other famous people, I need the light again so I can see what wall I'm taking out, are examples of people who basically already have a ton of their lives recorded and kind of like that information just kind of available for everyone to see. And so kind of like everything that they say and do kind of becomes public record, and people make judgments about those folks as a result of that. All right, guys over here, and I'm going to be getting out into the nether proper a little bit again here, but I'm pretty sure I can wall it off and still create a few more spawning spaces on these spaces that I'm opening up right here. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, that's good for now, and this is still closed off, so I'm not going to have gas firing at me. And let's do the same thing here as well. And so, but imagine it was that way for everybody. Imagine no matter, you know, what you do, what walk of life you have, it was the case. Oh, and this circles back around. Okay, so I can take this whole wall right here out then, and I believe this will all be kind of Nether Fortress spawning space. Great, and so long as it's at least 2 tall, then I believe we'll have the possibility of wither skeletons spawning in here. Let's go ahead and take this torch over here back out. So yeah, imagine it's that way for everybody. And everybody's life now is an open book, public record, stuff like that. How does it change how we behave, how we interact with one another? And so I was just trying to like think through this myself. And I think an adaptive thing in terms of society that I'm not sure if it would actually happen, but that I think would be like a good thing to happen is that people would need to be more forgiving. Again, if we go to like famous people kind of examples, like there's lots of famous people who end up kind of in the news because they did something that was, rude or inappropriate or, whatever, that people then, look at them and they judge them or whatever. And we hear about these things because they're newsworthy and people, the news loves to sensationalize things or whatever. But as a result, I think we sometimes get, and this is only sometimes, not always, but sometimes end up getting kind of like skewed views of such events because you only hear about like the bad, sensational things when maybe... I thought I just heard a skeleton. Maybe not. Maybe it was just a zombie pigman footstep. If I do hear a wither skeleton, I definitely want to try to go after him. And I definitely hear some blaze fire, but that's not a big deal. The wither skeletons are the only thing that we need to try to kill, even as we're building this thing. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is this. In terms of your own life, like imagine, like pick your worst day. Pick some day that you were having a bad day, you did something stupid or foolish or something like that. And now imagine like there was a news story about that thing and everybody knew it. And how you would feel about it. And in the like no privacy world that I'm imagining, like that would be true for like everybody every day. Like everyone would know like the worst thing you ever did. Everyone would know, would be able to have everyone else know the worst thing that they ever did. And so as a result, like everybody is subject to the same scrutiny. And I think the only reasonable thing for people to do to be kind of adaptive with that, I don't know whether it would actually happen or not, is for people to be more forgiving and realize the fact that just because someone once in their life did something foolish doesn't mean that that gives you, carte blanche to kind of judge them on that thing forever and ever. There are definitely some things that are, I don't know, unforgivable. I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking for here. But there's a lot of things that would be like newsworthy one day and that would have people like make bad judgments about a person. But at the same time are things that, if they went back and reflected on their own lives, they probably at least once in their lives have done something kind of like equally foolish or something. And so I think if it was all kind of a level playing field and no one had any privacy, and everybody's life were an open book, I can imagine that people would become more forgiving by virtue of the fact that they would see that everybody has their bad days and everybody, one action or one item from a person's history does not write the entire story for that particular person in their lives. And people would be kind of more aware of that because of the fact that it would happen to them as well. I'm not sure how well I'm explaining this. This is the first time in a long time that I've tried to do any type of building project while talking about kind of like random thoughts that I have on some other idea. All right, at this point, this is all going to open into the Nether, so I don't think I can take any more walls out to open up spawning spaces over here. But we've converted some 3 wide tunnels into 5 wide tunnels, which I believe all of these 5 wide spaces can potentially spawn wither skeletons. So that's good. And then we opened up kind of a big room over here, which will also just be easier to kind of like see wither skeletons from a distance. Sadly, still none of them are spawning, but it could be just because of the case that I've been standing very close to this area. So actually I should probably go and move back to another section of the fortress and see if anybody has spawned back over there. If I go back up to the upper level, let's do that. Yeah, so I don't know. These are just things that I am thinking about. And yeah, I wonder what other people's opinions are, both of, I guess mostly on what would a world be like if we didn't have any privacy at all? And are there good ways that society could adapt to that situation? Or is it necessarily kind of like negative consequences that come from a world that's like that. Yeah, I'm curious to know people's opinions. There's... Oh, okay. My fire resistance already worn off. So I wonder if I can kill this guy without having to drink another potion, because I only brought 2 potions along, and I would like to not waste them. Of course, now I'm using arrows, which is another thing that I could waste. And I think he's on the roof up here, another blaze. I don't think he's actually down in this area. And, okay, we got some magma cubes, which I'll go ahead and kill with the looting sword, and maybe we'll get lucky and get some... Again, I think maybe you can only get the magma cream if you kill bigger size magma cubes, and so that's probably not helping me. But yeah, we're not getting any skeletons or wither skeletons spawning in this area. Oh, this is going to be such a grind. I think... Do I see a wither skeleton up here? I think I might see something up here. No, I just saw my own torchlight reflecting off of the cobblestone. Bummer. Alright, well, let's take out some more of the torches that are in here just to create even more spawning spaces. I'm going to walk around a little bit more and see if there are other good places. Actually, this wall right here, does this dig back into the fortress over here? Yes, it does. Let's only open up a bit more over here. So yeah, I would like to, since we have an older group of more mature people following my channel, perhaps, open up the comments to see what people think on this particular topic of privacy. But I will say a number of things. Be civil, respect other people's opinions, and also I would like to just focus on the privacy issue. There's all kinds of other interesting potential topics related to governments and spying and all kinds of things that people may also want to talk about. And while those are interesting issues, I think that's too much to try to bite off in kind of one gulp. And so I'd just like to think about privacy, and so kind of like cover the issue of what would a world without privacy be like, and what would be good about it, what would be bad about it, how would society be likely to change, what would be adaptive versus non-adaptive ways to change if the world happened to be like that. Just because I'm curious to see what other people think. As well as, yeah, just kind of the general, like, do you think we're headed in that direction? Do you think instead people will kind of challenge the ways that governments and corporations have been kind of moving in order to take back privacy? Or do you think that it's a thing that's going to continue to be eroded and go farther away in the future? I don't know. Thoughts on privacy? I'd be curious to hear what people say, because I haven't seen... You know, there's a lot of stuff happening in the news that talks about kind of somewhat related issues, but I feel like this is one of the core issues that's just like, how does society work in general and how does privacy work in general, that I haven't seen a lot of discussion above and a lot of discussion about. And so, yeah, I'm curious to have such discussion. So feel free to add that stuff to the comments, and I probably will need to moderate comments because I can imagine that these will go off in a bunch of different crazy directions, but I'll try to leave it open and let people express a bunch of different opinions and thoughts on that. All right, so there's another big, nice, open, flat section. Like, large squares that are open is also a good thing because they create a lot of air spaces that then create spawning spaces. There's a whole lot of weird subtleties to the algorithms in terms of how Minecraft spawns mobs, especially so in the Nether. Oh, crap. I don't have a fire resist. I don't really want to drink it right now. Let's go a different direction since there's blazes down here. Oh, crap. There's a ghast. I still have my staircase down here. Let's just see if we got any wither skeletons over here, maybe. Anybody? Anybody? Oh, I hear a skeleton. Great. Where is he? I think he's... Where is he? Oh, wither skeleton. Oh, wither skeleton. Or I don't even know if you're a wither skeleton. It sounds like you might be on the roof. Which means I have to go back up here and out here. Okay, I have a bunch of places where the ceiling is only too high. by design. So those are places that I can run away from the wither skeletons. I need to put a torch down here just so I can see what the staircase looks like and figure out how to climb back up here. But was there a wither skeleton here? There's a ghast firing at me. There's a blaze. Crap. Right there. Where is the wither skeleton? I heard him for just a moment. I heard a skeleton. I heard bones clanking. Now I don't hear him anymore. Oh, no. Okay, it's to my left. It's somewhere out here? It's like in the nether proper over here? Where is that wither skeleton? I would love to kill at least one this episode, even though this was mostly a building episode. Let's just... I don't know if this is a smart thing or a dumb thing. Let's just kind of like dig our way back out of the floor in the nether here and see if we can find this guy. Because it sounds like he's up here somewhere. Oh, yep, found him. Alright, well I just took some damage from a magma slime. Alright, so there's another level up here. So is he up here somewhere? I don't see him. No, this is just outside the fortress. I'm really concerned that he's going to see me and run over here and fall on my head. Alright, I still do not see, and I don't hear again, the skeleton that I heard. So I'm still not sure where he was. That's really frustrating. Alright, after I dig this out, I'm going to have to kind of like relearn the layout of this whole fortress. Alright, there's going to be a lot of off-camera work here, I am certain, in order to try to get our wither skeletons, because you have to kill... probably on the order of like 200 of them in order to get all the skulls you need to fight the wither. And so far, I have killed 0. I think I may have killed 1 wither skeleton, actually, in a previous episode. But yeah, this is going to be rough. So... oh, crap. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. I do not want him to shoot me. Alright, I think I'm going to need to drink another fire resist. I do have more blaze rods, so I'll be able to make more fire resistance potions. So let's go ahead, let's drink fire resist. Let's use that, oops, that was the wrong thing to do. There we go. Let's use the fire resist to safely get back out of the nether, kill off these guys, we'll get some more blaze rods that I can combine with some slime balls for some future potions. I thought I already had 4 blaze rods, and I thought he just dropped something, but I still only have 4 blaze rods. That is odd. Yep, I don't see any skeletons anywhere. Alright, oh, there's blaze rods. Did they fall all the way down here? Let's take a look in this big open space. No skeletons. Bummer. Baby Pigman. Alright, I'm going to call it an episode. I feel like I've been babbling the whole time. I don't know if this will have been interesting for some people or boring. The farming of the skeletons, I expect I'm going to do a lot of off-camera work, but if I come up with either other topics of interesting things to talk about, I could try either doing an episode like I did today, where I try to just do things in real time on camera and talk about the topics. I could do more fast-forward montages, which I think is the likely thing that I'll do, and then maybe do some post-commentary with some other topics. I'm not sure what to do, but we're getting into the kind of the tough portion of this season of exploration and tactics. Anytime you're going after the wither, if you want to do any of that on camera. And so I'm open to other suggestions in terms of the best ways to film these things. In any case, I thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys are having a great day. Let me know your thoughts on privacy, and I will see you again next time.